Hello and welcome to day 4 of our Advent calendar devotions. My name is Marina Caddy and I have the pleasure of speaking to you today. Our title chosen is Don't Be Afraid, and our Bible reading comes from Luke chapter 1 and verse 30. The angel said to Mary, "Do not be afraid, for you have found favour with God." What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of anything? Some people have a fear of flying, whilst others find it an absolute doddle. Some people have a fear of flying birds, darkness, storms. And many people's fears can be very, very different. But right in this current climate, many people have fears about catching the virus. They have fears about whether they will have a job come next year. They're fearful of their future. Will they still have a home? They fear for their children's future. Well, I want to tell you about one of my fears that I had. And when I finish telling you, you'll probably think that was extremely silly, but believe me, it wasn't at the time. Many years ago, I had a job where I worked for Boots the chemist. And this job took me to different parts of the country. I covered Hampshire, which was the easy bit. I covered the Channel Islands, Wiltshire, Sussex and Surrey. And my biggest fear was that I would get lost. I wouldn't be able to find a car park. I would end up a one-way street, and in one occasion I did. Or I would go the wrong way round the M25. So my husband very kindly, on a Sunday, said, "Let's do a dummy run together." So we did, but I hasten to add this was before SatNav, and we didn't have to do all of the 32 stores that I was looking after, which was a great relief to him. And so by doing that on a Sunday, when I did have to travel to these stores, my fears were unfounded. The angel also said to Mary, "You have found favour with God." God's almighty hand was upon her, a divine blessing. Finding favour with God doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going to be bright and beautiful, wonderful and rosy. But what it does mean that God has laid his hand upon your life and he's going to use you for his eternal purpose. It means an ongoing hope, a hope that you will overcome all the obstacles and fears that you are facing. So whatever you are fearful about today, whatever you are afraid of, just remember that God is bigger than your greatest fear. God loves you, he cares for you, and he only wants the best for you. So as the angel spoke to Mary by name, God is calling you by name and saying, "Don't be afraid." So as we go through this Advent season and into a new year, just listen to God who's saying to you, "Don't be afraid." May God bless each and every one of you. And I thank you for joining me this morning.
Rejoice, rejoice.